You know what most men get completely wrong when it comes to love? They believe women fall in love through logic, through gestures, through saying the right things at the right time. They think if they buy enough flowers, give enough compliments, and put in visible effort, she'll fall for them. But let me tell you something that most never realize until it's too late. A woman doesn't fall in love with your logic. She falls in love with your energy. She doesn't remember every word you said. She remembers how she felt when she was near you. She falls in love emotionally, subconsciously, slowly. And if you don't understand how those emotional seeds get planted, you'll keep doing all the right things and keep wondering why nothing sticks. So in this episode of Rise and Thrives, I'm not giving you tricks. I'm not handing you lines. I'm showing you what actually works. The psychological triggers, the emotional dynamics, and the kind of presence that creates deep, almost unexplainable attraction. Let's go deeper than surface level. Point 1. She falls for how you handle her silence. This is one of the most overlooked things in dating and relationships. A woman's silence is not a void, it's a test. It's a window into who you really are when control is no longer yours. When she gets quiet, distant, or just off, she's paying attention to one thing: your reaction. Do you get anxious and start over talking? Do you rush in, demanding answers or explanations? Or do you hold your ground with calm, collected energy? Because here's the truth. A woman feels safe with the man who doesn't panic when she pulls away. Your stillness says something louder than words. I don't need to control you. I know who I am and I'm here when you're ready. That kind of calm tells her you're a harbor, not a storm. And in a world that constantly demands something from her, your calm presence becomes unforgettable. Point 2. She falls for the man who doesn't flinch under pressure. Emotions are the language of connection for women. But most men can't speak that language. They try to fix everything. They interrupt. They defend themselves. Or they check out emotionally the moment things get messy. But the man who holds steady when she brings her storms, that's the man she starts falling for. Not because you said the perfect thing, but because your nervous system didn't collapse under her waves. You don't interrupt. You listen. You breathe. You stay grounded. You're not afraid of her sadness. You're not afraid of her confusion. You're not afraid of her not knowing what she needs. And when she feels that, she starts trusting you, not just with her words, but with her vulnerability. That trust becomes the foundation for emotional connection that lasts. Point 3. She falls for the man who protects his energy. Let me ask you something. Do you give your attention to anyone who asks for it? Do you respond to every text instantly? Do you chase validation just to feel liked? Do you try to over-explain yourself to avoid being misunderstood? Because if you do, you're not protecting your energy. You're leaking it. And here's the kicker. Women don't fall for men who are emotionally available to everyone. They fall for the man whose energy feels earned, not handed out. A man who values his peace, who doesn't need constant validation, who isn't available at everyone's convenience. That kind of emotional discipline, it says my energy is sacred, and I don't give it to just anyone. That's not arrogance. That's leadership. And real women crave that. Point 4. She falls for how you handle her flaws. We all have moments when we're off. We're messy, emotional, moody, unsure. But here's what women are doing during those moments. They're observing, not to see how you react to their best, but how you respond to their worst. Do you shame her? Do you withdraw? Do you make her feel guilty for being human? Or do you remain present? Because women don't want to be adored only when they're glowing. They want to be accepted even when they're unraveling. If she feels she can be imperfect around you, without losing your respect, without losing your calm, that's when she truly begins to open. Not just physically, but emotionally. And emotional openness is where love actually lives. Point 5. She falls for leadership, not control. There's a massive difference between being dominant and being a leader. Control is about power. Leadership is about direction. The men who try to control women, who bark orders, who get angry when things don't go their way. They're not leaders. They're insecure. True leadership is quiet power. You plan without hesitation. You make decisions with intention. You move with purpose, not permission. And what happens? She starts relaxing around you. Not because you forced her to, but because she finally feels like she can trust where you're going. And when a woman feels safe enough to let go of control, that's when deep emotional bonding begins. Point 6. She falls for the way you let connection grow naturally. You know what most guys do wrong? They try to rush intimacy. They overshare. They push for deep topics on date 1. They turn every moment into a forced emotional exchange. But real connection? It cannot be rushed. The man who lets things unfold at their own pace, who doesn't demand vulnerability, who's comfortable in silence, that's the man she remembers. You wait. You listen. You respect her pace. And when she finally opens up, you don't exploit it. You don't try to make it about you. You hold space for her to be seen. And that patience, that space, that's what builds something real. Point 7. She falls for the life you're building, with or without her. Let's talk purpose. You want to be magnetic? Build a life so full, so meaningful that her presence would enhance it, not complete it. When your life has rhythm, routine, direction, you don't need her to fill your days. You're already in motion, already evolving, already moving forward. And she doesn't feel like she's being pursued by a man who's empty. She feels like she's being invited into a life that's already worth joining. She doesn't want to be your reason to grow. She wants to witness your growth and be inspired by it. That's what makes her chase you. Point 8. She falls for emotional gravity. Let's finish with this. Emotional gravity. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's not flashy. It's stillness. It's being composed. Not cold. Not distant. Just unshakable. You don't flinch when she's upset. You don't chase when she pulls away. You don't crumble under pressure. She watches how you carry yourself through it all. And she starts to feel something she can't explain. You're immovable. You don't demand connection. You draw it in. You become a center of gravity. And when she realizes her chaos doesn't throw you off balance, that's when her curiosity turns to desire. And that desire turns into attachment. So if you truly want to understand how women fall in love, stop memorizing lines. Stop focusing on what to do or what to say. Start focusing on who you are when she's around you. Because love doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to presence. Become the man who makes her feel seen in silence, makes her feel safe in chaos, makes her feel drawn to your life, even when she's not the center of it. If this resonated, drop a comment, emotional gravity. Let me know if you stayed till the end. And remember, you don't chase real love. You become the man who makes it impossible to ignore. This is Rise and Thrives.